Hey YouTube, welcome to this fourth and final part with Ellias, where we're playing multiplayer in sandbox mode. We had left off with a severe labor shortage for both Ellias and me. So, we decided to build a new residential district not far from the granaries and warehouses, so we wouldn't have to build a whole new logistics line just for these houses. Ellias will just need to bring in furniture, and that should be it. I've decided to stick with the layout we started with, leaving space for a row of decorations between the houses. I've placed my houses in the northern part and asked Ellias to place his where there's still space. However, there's still one extra tile on the right. I'm thinking of placing a well and a guard post there. Oops, there's no access to the main road. Ellias needs to remove his maintenance post so I can create a connection between the new district and the granaries. I'll place some roadblocks to prevent the patrollers from wandering off. And now I can build a market on the new road I just created. As always, don't forget to add services to prevent fires and epidemics, as well as a tax office for the taxes. With that, the district is complete. Now, just waiting for the migrants to arrive. It looks like the city is running low on wood. I'll need to increase production by placing more sawmills. While I'm thinking about how to do that and waiting for a bit more workforce from the new district we built, I'll check on the iron production. It seems like I have the same issue there. Once I've boosted the wood production, I'll need to do the same for iron. Ellias tells me I shouldn't have destroyed the trees because once a tree is cut down, it's a source of wood that no longer exists. But I have an idea, and I'm going to show him the joys of forestry. I'll organize the forest with my industries in lines and rows of trees. It looks very industrial, but it's efficient. Do you see the lumberjack trying to gather resources in the void? Another funny bug to add to the video. I'm really relieved I changed how I manage the characters. This kind of bug shouldn't happen anymore. You're never fully safe from surprises, but I'm more confident in my ability to get good behavior from the characters with the new version than with this one. I'm still speaking conditionally, though, because sometimes, when playing, you can get very creative and go off the path I initially envisioned. Should I be surprised to see these houses lacking furniture? Throughout this entire playthrough, we've never really managed to get a significant production of this item. We probably should have focused more effort from the start on building up a large production before moving on to other things. Well, it's easy to say that now, with the video to analyze everything that happened, but at the time, none of what I showed you was really shocking to us. Now, I'll let you enjoy the view and the music for a bit while I take a tour of our city before we continue. I've finally decided to increase iron production. Since the first mining area is well stocked, I'm going to find a new iron ore source. There are always 3 on the map. This iron ore area is really nice. I'll be able to easily place a staircase, and each deposit will be easily accessible by a miner. I'll be able to create a great harvesting area here. It's just a bit of a shame I have to build on fertile land, but oh well. Anyway, Ellias won't be building any farms here anytime soon. Do you see how the migrants are walking through the buildings? It hurts to see something like that. I'm going to leave a passage so they can walk around. Having to destroy the wall to pass through and then rebuild it is really terrible. What? You don't think they're actually walking through walls, do you? They're flesh and blood characters, not ghosts. In any case, I really feel bad for them. Jokes aside, did you spot the latest bug visible in this video? If we come across it again, I'll point it out. It's good to see that everything is going well for wood production. We should never have split the buildings like we did. It was really just for testing. Normally, the person who takes a resource also takes all the production buildings associated with it. It's much more efficient and avoids all these exchanges. We've finally reached the last levels for our houses. They only need wine to reach their max level. But since this gaming session is getting a bit long for us, we didn't set up the necessary elements for wine production. We'll save that for a future video. I noticed that Ellias hadn't connected his warehouse to the road. So, I tried to help, but he told me it wasn't necessary and that he built it there to reserve a spot in case the nearby market would need it. That's weird, but alright. I've placed a new luxury market to help with the distribution. It won't hurt. The video and the session are about to end, so here's a quick recap of the campaign before we wrap up. For this first recorded session, we decided to focus exclusively on the economy, leaving aside a large portion of the game's other mechanics. But even just that wasn't easy. We tried to create a fully intertwined city to maximize the interactions between our buildings. Setting it up wasn't simple, and while the city looks quite nice, we struggled to keep everything balanced. Splitting the buildings the way we did at the start wasn't the best idea. It made things much harder and forced us to create a lot of logistics chains. There's definitely a better way to handle it, and we'll try to improve for the next video. One thing Ellias and I didn't take advantage of, which could have helped a lot, was trading with external cities to obtain more manufactured resources. Since we have plenty of money, we could have easily bought tools and furniture to assist our development. That's definitely something we'll need to test in a future video. I can't wait to show you how it works. One thing we did well, though, was the placement of our city. It's right in the middle of all the industries, which really gives the impression of a central hub where people live and commute from to work. Sure, it's a bit far from the map's entry point, which increases the travel time for migrants and creates some waiting periods. But honestly, I like it. It gives us time to discuss our next moves. I really appreciate how the game manages to be both chill and challenging at the same time. It forces you to stay focused on your gameplay if you don't want your entire city to collapse. That balance is something I'm proud of, and I hope it makes the experience just as engaging for you as it is for us. And guess what happened next? You'll never believe it. For about 5 minutes, I stood there chatting with Ellias, reflecting on the session and planning our next one. Then, just as we were about to log off, we realized something critical. Our city was about to run out of food. In a flash, all the buildings would drop back to level 1 because we completely forgot to build additional farms. In hindsight, it's not that surprising. Both of us, we're nearing 2,000 residents, and all these people are bound to eat a lot. Lesson learned. Never underestimate how much food a growing population will consume. Now, I'm going to prepare the next video and work on a new version of the game. I need to fix all the issues we noticed in this video related to the characters. I'd also like to rework the procedural map generation. I realized that everything tends to be too centralized, whether it's fertile areas, forests, or minerals. I'd prefer for everything to be spread across the map. Ideally, fertile zones and forests shouldn't overlap either. I'll see what I can do with the time I have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first series of videos. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comments what I could improve. And see you next time.